storytelling, as I'm sure you know, is a new event, not only for the participants, but for the judges. So I'm definitely looking forward to your presentation. So anytime you are ready.
Okay. Family vacations are so boring. At least if you have my family. All they do is play croquet, golf, and tennis. None of the three which I play. Well, the first day last summer when we went to my family's home in Colorado, I paid attention and did everything I was supposed to do. Because I didn't really want to make my family feel bad, that I didn't want to spend time with them. But when all they do is play some boring sports, then I can't coop myself. So one day I started walking off in no particular direction, trying to find out some adventure. I started walking, and when I stopped, I was at a huge forest. The entrance was so big that I didn't know where to start. I just started walking straight because if you kept going in circles, you were liable to let yourself get lost, and you wouldn't be able to find your way out. So I walked first forward, and then I stopped when I met across a bear. He went, "Roar!" Try it with me. Roar!
Roar.
That is a scary bear. And so I took off running because I really didn't want to spend any more time with that bear. Run with me, run away from that bear. The bear's running after us, run faster. When I stopped because I was out of breath, I was out of the forest, and I was at the huge bank of a huge lake. It was so big and blue, I didn't know where to start because I couldn't go around it. It was just too wide. I couldn't, So I decided to kick off my shoes, roll up my sleeves, and dive in. I started swimming to get to the other edge of the lake. I swam and swam until I hit the rocky bank of the surface. When I dug myself out of the water, I looked down and I was sopping wet. So I decided to walk so it would dry faster. When I started walking, I started drying, and so I was pretty much contented for a while. But then it started to rain. At first it was only a few pitter-patters, but then it got harder, and then it got the hardest of all. Oh, you don't need to clap for me, I'm not done yet. But it started lighting up again until it was only a few pitter-patters. Then when it stopped raining, I looked down because there was a jabbing pain in my foot. When I felt something warm trickling down my foot, I looked down. I had stepped on a rose with thorns. I picked it up and smelled it. When I looked around, it wasn't just one rose, it was a whole rose garden. I started walking through it, gaining plenty of ouchies on my foot. When I looked around, I saw a diary laying in the middle of the rose garden. I picked it up and opened it up to the newest diary entry. Dear Journal, my parents haven't been cooperative with me lately. They won't let me do anything. I'm always stuck in the castle. When I closed the book, I looked down, and I was wearing different clothes than I was. I had these big shoes on and a big poofy dress, which was not my style. I had a diamond necklace on and I had a crown. I couldn't figure out when that had happened. Maybe I was dreaming. But suddenly, I realized I didn't want to be like this princess or whatever this was that was really mean to her family to run away. So I threw the book and then I ran back to where I came from. I ran and ran. Before I jumped in the lake, I kicked off the shoes that were on and dove in again. When I started swimming, I didn't really care if I got tired and wet. When I got out, I ripped the dress off to where I had seen that I was still wearing my clothes underneath. When I reached the forest entrance, I ripped off the crown and threw it into the trees. I started running and not even worrying about that bear, even though it was really scary. So I started running back to the house. When I saw the house, I jumped with glee. When I got back, I told my parents and my grandparents about my expedition. They didn't believe me, so I didn't bother trying to tell them again. Because when your dad doesn't believe you, none of them will believe you. So I went to bed, and the next morning we were supposedly leaving from our grandparents. When I woke up, I had gotten dressed, packed everything into my bag, and came out. Just as we were about to leave, my mom asked me what was around my neck. I didn't understand what it was until I looked down. I was still wearing the necklace. So I ripped it off and gave it to my mom. She held it up and it was engraved with Emily Grace Minor on it. So I figured, maybe this was a different girl. I mean, there could be a lot of people named Emily Grace Minor. But she believed it was me. So they finally believed me and we went off to back home. Family vacations were never boring again.
Like I said, uncharted territory for all of us. You did good. I like the audience participation. I'm very pleased with it. Thank you. I enjoyed it.